We left out of Vancouver, and this was our first time leaving our home port. And so Vancouver as a port for Carnival ship is organized in a somewhat unusual way. I've been platinum the last two sailings, and so I have priority boarding, but that means almost nothing in Vancouver.
Yeah.
For one thing, you have to pass through security prior to checking in. And that is fine. It's not that unusual, but it's more than just security, it's customs as well. And it's for all the ships that are there. Multiple cruise lines go through the same customs lineup first. And it's very elaborate. It's long. It's quite a wait. The process took like an hour at least, I think.
We were there for an hour and 20 minutes. I timed it.
Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes. And so there's these snaking lineups all over the place where they're selling you binoculars. Yeah. And then you go up some stairs and you think, all right, I'm ready to get checked in. You go down a long hallway, and then you're seated in rows, which is, to try and give you a break from standing.
Which we appreciate.
Yeah. And then the rows get up in the order that you were in line before, and then you go to another waiting area. You eventually get through the security and customs check, and only then do you get a chance to actually go to your individual cruise line and check in, and only at that point does the priority boarding work. So we cut a little bit of a line. We bypassed a little bit of a line at the check-in, but not a substantial one. So the conclusion here is, if you're sailing out of Vancouver, do not bother with Faster to the Fun. I don't think that would be worth the money.
No.
Especially if you're going to Alaska, there's no tendered ports, so there's no priority tendering. Faster to the Fun, just for an Alaskan cruise out of Vancouver, does not seem worth the money. We highly recommend you don't waste the money on that, don't.
Yeah, because there was only one other cruise line that was sailing out with us, so Holland, and that was insane. How the lineup moved relatively quickly, but at the same time, when you have two cruise ships, each being able to support thousands of people, that, we were only in the lineup for an hour and 20 minutes, but when you factor that in, so it did move fairly quickly, but it was insane. Like, I can't imagine, like, if when cruise season really, really picks up, how much worse it's going to be. Now, it's not a fault of Holland or or Carnival or Princess or any of the cruise lines. This is the way the Port of Vancouver has it set up, and the way the U.S. Customs and Border Guards have it set up. So it's, that's not really something that the cruise lines have any control over. I know, again, Facebook group, a lot of people were complaining about it and basically kind of laying that on Carnival's feet, but it's not fair to lay it on. They had nothing. And Carnival only sails out of Vancouver a couple times a year, like 4 times a year at max. And so they have a very temporary setup, whereas Holland, they have a more permanent setup, from what I would assume, because they sail more frequently. And places like Celebrity, Princess, Norwegian, they sail more frequently out of Vancouver. It was annoying, but it was one of those things that, like, it was annoying in the time, but once we got over it, like, once we got through it, I got over it. So it's just a matter of, how much do you want to allow that stuff to affect your enjoyment of it, really. I literally forgot about it until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, so. It saps that hour and 20 minutes from you, but you're the one who decides if it saps days out of you by bothering you to that degree.
Exactly.
One other tip, if you're going to, it's called Canada Place, is the cruise terminal in Vancouver, and the signage when you arrive isn't very good. I'm used to Miami and other places where there'll be bright Carnival branded colored signs that, point you, hey, check in this way, priority check in that way, like something.
Yeah.
There's nothing that early on. In fact, pretty much nothing Carnival branded until once you get past that hour and 20 minutes through security and customs. So if you're looking at Canada Place, on the right-hand side, there is a ramp that looks like it's going to parking. That is where the pedestrian traffic is supposed to go down, next to the roadway that takes you where you need to be, but it is not well marked by any means. So that's sort of another tip if you're sailing out of Vancouver. When you show up, you get out of the cab or the bus, whatever you take to get there, on the right-hand side, go down the ramp, because no one will tell you. There's no staff out there to indicate. Yeah. So that's unfortunate, but you do sail underneath the Lionsgate Bridge by Stanley Park, so that was very lovely. So
yeah, it's beautiful, actually. It's insane how beautiful it is, especially because it's like sunset, pretty much. Or dusk was starting to happen when we were going through, so it's amazing.